sororities, churches, dolls, books, and even Jesus, Black Jesus. I'm still trying to figure out that one since the Bible itself described Jesus as a Black man. Nowhere is this white standard setting more outrageous than when it comes to history. When the topic is about anybody other than white folk, it is to be labeled Black, Latino, Native American, etc. But white folks have been allowed to own history. As this planet, I know this morning, for the children, we had My Sister, My Friend. That was a wonderful read if you get a chance. And then we had Little Leaders, Bold Women in History. We kind of read through that one. And then we read through the STEAM Team books. We just been reading all day. And then we got our fiction book. Let me see your fiction book right quick, because I took the fiction books back. We had a plethora of fiction books. But we read through this one, The Wedding Before the Wedding. We got the author here. Carla Delaney is the author of this book. She will be here at 3:00, family. So if you're in the area, stop by the Doc Bookshop, meet and greet the author. In fact, we're going to have a few more authors here as well. So come by if you can at 3. That will be our actual Black History program. We're going to do, the whole 9. So come by if you can. It's going to also be virtual. So, and then followed by that at 6:00, we're going to, where's my Eton Thomas book? This one. Eton Thomas will be in conversation with the last poet, Abiodun Oyewole, and they're going to be talking about police brutality and white supremacy. So that should be a very interesting conversation. So if you can tune in for that at 6:00, that's a virtual event. And so we just got a lot going on today. It's been a great day because we love reading and books here at the Doc Bookshop. And let me pause and introduce myself. I am Donna Craddock. I am co-owner of the Doc Bookshop. The Doc Bookshop is a family-owned and operated bookstore on the east side of Fort Worth. We've been around for 13 years. In fact, in May, we'll be celebrating 14 years. And we just love books. We love community, and this is what we do. And so we're excited about today. And I have a great team with me on this nonfiction segment. And I just thank you, ladies, for being here with me on today. I have Carla Delaney, who I already introduced, the author of a book. And then I have Lolita Allen, my dear beloved friend, who is a book club president. And so I'm so excited to have Divas Read 2 represented on today. Thank you, ma'am, for taking time out of your schedule to join in. Now, I've asked these ladies, hey, this is nonfiction, so find a nonfiction book. We're going to read a little bit from these books, and let's just get started with reading. Okay, so we're going to let Lolita go first. Okay. We'll let you go first. Well, you know what? Let me go first. You want me to go first?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Before I go there, though, let me check and make sure. I had to check in with my Facebook, make sure that's running okay. Make sure all is well in Facebook world. Let me see. And while I'm doing that, please share, please invite others. Let's get a community in on this wonderful discussion that we're about to have, this reading session we're about to have. We call it a reading open mic. Mm-hmm. So, we just reading. We're actually doing what I call the art of reading books. And so we invite everyone to be a part of that. Where is my thing? I don't see it.
Go to videos. That's where I went.
I want to make sure we are up and going here. Yep, there it is. Okay, we're good. We are live. Okay. So yeah, we're just reading on today. We're actually doing the art of reading books, and we're engaging in some awesome reads. And so today, let me just start off. I'm going to share some classics with you. There's so many books, there's so many books. So I don't want to just, I'm just going to share a few classics, a few books. One I'm going to share, I'm not going to read from it. I just want you all to just definitely add this to your collection. How the Word is Passed by Clint Smith. is a reckoning with the history of slavery across America. So definitely get this book and add this book to your collection. This is a must read, is a best-selling book. And then we have 400 Souls by Ibram Kendi. If you get a chance, get this book. He has actually 400 people. Is it 400? I think it's a lot of people who's sharing about. He called it a community of history, a community history of African America. So add it to your collection. Those are what we call classics now. They're part of our classic sessions section, must reads. And then we have Dick Gregory. He did a book, and he got several books out, but he did one called Defining Moments in Black History, Reading Between the Lines, and he crossed off Black history. And let me tell you why he crossed it out. Okay, I'm going to read to you why he just said, you know what, it should just be defining moments in history. This is what Dick Gregory has to say. He said, part of the fallacy of white supremacy is the setting of whiteness as the norm and everything else as other. Have you ever thought about the fact that even though most of this country's predominantly white colleges had racial discrimination as a part of their founding principles, they are referred to simply as colleges or university? However, our schools had to be specifically labeled as Black colleges and universities. The same is true for fraternities, sororities, churches, dolls, books, and even Jesus, Black Jesus. I'm still trying to figure out that one, since the Bible itself described Jesus as a Black man. Nowhere is this white standard setting more outrageous than when it comes to history. When the topic is about anybody other than white folk, it is to be labeled Black, Latino, Native American, etc. But white folks have been allowed to own history. As this planet's original people, there's no history without us. Furthermore, even we moved outside of Africa from ancient Greece and Rome to Russian Empire to the start of the American Revolution to today, Black folks have touched all of humanity's most significant events. Neither the world nor America would be what they are today without the contributions of people of African ancestry. Let us be clear once and for all that Black history is history. And so that's why he crossed out the Black on this one. He's saying Black history is history, and we need to own history. And so this is definitely, I think, a classic to have in your library as well. Okay, so that was my little start. I'm gonna come back. I have another portion. I got three parts I'm going to do, but I'm gonna let some others chime in. So, Lolita, are you ready?
I am, if you want me to be.
I would love for you to be.
Okay, so here's my book.
Oh, Tabitha. I love her.
I love
beautiful
you.
Soul. Beautiful soul.
Yes, so I will be reading from Tabitha Brown's Feeding the Soul, Finding Our Way to Joy, Love, and Freedom. Now, she's also, just found out that she's also the winner of the NAACP Literary Award for her literary work, Instructional. Just found that out. So congratulations to her for winning that award. Okay. So this is Feeding the Soul. There are going to be parts of your journey that will require you to go it alone. Everyone can't go with you. In fact, I argue that there are things that must be done on your own, or you'll never see the fullness of it. You'll never get it done. Once you understand that there are some things you're going to have to do on your own, make peace with that. Don't allow it to rip you up inside. Don't even build narratives around while you don't have anyone to walk alongside you in any particular season of your life. Just move forward. Because if you sit around waiting on somebody to save you, help you, partner with you, walk with you, or hold your hand, you just might miss the blessing that could have only come by the changes and chances that you took while leaping into your destiny.
Wonderful.
Also, she says, it's important to have support. Our communities are necessary. And yes, it's okay to bless people when we've been blessed. We absolutely should, but be discerning. Build a foundation that can't be broken. Build it solid and secure, and then, and only then, bring the right people along at the right time. But in the beginning, don't be upset that you have to travel the road alone. Honey, some of the most successful moves you'll ever make will be one you make by yourself. Be okay with that. I want you to win. You deserve it. We all do. You are worthy. Love this book. Love
Wonderful.
it.
Oh my gosh, that is so encouraging.
Yes, love it.
Oh,
yes.
That's a must-have. Yes.
And one of her quotes, she does a lot of inspirational quotes in her book as well. One of the quotes that I really, really love, and I read it from time to time, it says, "Sometimes we allow people to use us and it don't do us no good. Allow him to use us, your whole entire world can change."
That's good.
Yes, it is.
That's good. Mm-hmm. And him being God.
That's
okay.
That's it.
Not just any him. We're talking about the most high him.
The most highest.
Not just any him.
Yes, ma'am.
All righty. Thank you for sharing. I love her work. I love her work. And her book, I'm telling you, it sells very well. We definitely have some of her books in store. And you can also purchase online at the Doc Bookshop. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We're just getting started with our nonfiction segment of the African American Readin. Today, we're just reading, celebrating the art of reading and books and community. And we just invite everyone to just find a book, any book, and let's just read. Reading is so important. It's food for not only your soul but for your mind and for your spirit. Just like we just heard from the reading that Lolita did from Tabitha book, Feeding the Soul. So yes. So do you have something you would like to share,
yes.
Carla?
The cover actually struck me as beautiful.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that is okay.
God is a Black woman. Black woman.
Okay.
By Christina Cleveland.
Okay.
I just love the color. It's so graphic and beautiful, and I just love it. I love the
cover definitely stands out.
It does stand out. It does stand. But just to read a little excerpt of her book, it says, "A timely, much needed book that weaves personal pilgrimage and societal reckoning to dismantle the cultural white male God and uncover the sacred Black feminine, and ultimately hope, healing, and liberation." For years, theologian, social psychologist, and activist Christina Cleveland spoke about racial reconciliation to congregations, justice organizations, and colleges. Yet over time, she felt she could no longer trust in the God she'd been taught to worship, a God who she realized did not affirm a Black woman like her. Her crisis of faith sent her on an intellectual and spiritual journey through history and across France on a 400-mile walking pilgrimage to the ancient shrines of Black Madonnas, where she discovered the healing power of the sacred Black feminine. In recounting her mystical journey, Cleveland reveals how America's collective idea of God as a white man has perpetuated hurt, disillusionment, and racial and gender oppression. Integrating her stirring personal story, womanist ideology, as well as theological, historical, and social science research, she invites us to dismantle the cultural white male God and encounter the sacred Black feminine, giving us a new and hopeful path for connecting with the divine and honoring the sacredness of all Black people.
Beautiful. Wow. Now that's deep.
It is.
That's a deep
going
one.
Deeper than the cover here.
Yeah,
is a Black woman by Christina Cleveland.
Right. Wow. That gives you a new perspective on some things. Yes. Okay. Well, wonderful. All right. So we done heard from 3 very interesting books. And we're gonna keep it going. The next one I want to talk about, and I really want to talk about this here. This is Marcus Garvey, Race First, and his selected writings and speeches of Marcus Garvey, and Garvey and Garveyism. And the reason why I'm focusing on Marcus Garvey is because there is a petition out there to exonerate Marcus Garvey. He was falsely accused of, I think it was something dealing with money laundering and all that. So anyway, his son is wanting to exonerate his father's name and to clean up that legacy. Mm-hmm. And so there's a petition out there that's trying to garnish at least 100,000 signatures. They need at least 100,000 signatures to try to get this Marcus Garvey name exonerated. Mm. And so we're part of this collective. It's a collective of bookstores and just a lot of other folk that is pushing this movement to exonerate our ancestor. He was a great ancestor. He was a mastermind. And so I'm going to read something from one of his books. Maybe I'll do this one. I don't know. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to decide, but I want to put this up. Can y'all see that? Okay, hopefully y'all can see that QR code.
Yeah.
Because if you can, I want you to put your phone, family, on that QR code. Put your phone on that QR code right there and go to the website. Go to the website and right now sign the petition. Sign the petition. And what you're going to do when you go to the website and sign a petition, there's I don't have it on here, but make sure you complete the form and you put in their hash. You got to put at the bottom, exonerate Marcus Garvey. And we're sending it to the president. Okay, so when you go to the form, they say who you want to send it to. You're going to send it to the president. Okay, and then you're going to put in your information, your name, email, phone number, and all that. And then it's going to say, now what you want to do? You're going to say exonerate Marcus Garvey, and that's how you complete the form. So we're encouraging everyone to do that because we sure that we do our part as far as Dick Gregory would say, owning history. Mm-hmm. And in owning history, we got to make sure we own or control the narrative. And right now, the narrative they have on this great ancestor is not true. And so we want to correct that history. And this is not just for us, but it's also for our children. So they won't, oftentimes, they like to attach a negative with every Black hero. And so right now that's the negative that's attached to him, but it's not a true negative. So we need to make sure that's removed. All right. So I'm going to leave that up there while y'all do that on Facebook. I want y'all to definitely take your phones out and get that code. And I am going to find a passage to read from Marcus Garvey. You have so much here. I really don't know where to begin. Okay, so maybe I'll just begin with the first sentence. I'm going to read oh gosh. Okay, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm trying to. There's so much. I really honestly. Okay, I'm just gonna read something. Just read, right? Okay, he says, and back then, I'm gonna take this down. Hopefully, you had a chance to get your phones out and use that QR code. I'll put it back up later. But I'm just gonna read, and of course, back then they refer to themselves as Negro. We know we went through several name changes. Mm-hmm. So he says, I am a Negro. I make absolutely no apology for being a Negro because my God created me to be what I am. And I am, so will I return to my God, for he knows just why he created me as he did. So, gentlemen, you will understand that behind the whole business proposition lies the spirit of the movement. I have no time to go into the work of the Universal Negro Improvement Association, but I say this. I know there are certain people who do not like me because I am Black. They don't like me because I am not born here, though no fault of mine. I didn't bring myself into this Western world. You know the history of my race. I was brought here. I was sold to some slave master in the island of Jamaica, some Irish slave master who gave my great-grandfather his name. Garvey is not an African name. It's an Irish name. As Johnston is not an African name. Garcia is not an African name. Thompson and Tobias are not African names. Where did we get these names from? We inherited them from our slave master, English, French, Irish, Scott. So if I was born in Jamaica, it was no fault of mine. It was because the slave ship that took me to Jamaica did not come to America ports. This is how some Negroes of America were born. This is how some Negroes of America were not born in the West Indies. And so he's going on dealing with that issue because he had to deal with that issue because he is from Jamaica. And so there were some who had a problem with the fact that he was an African American, but yet he still fought for the liberation of all African people. And so he was dealing with that issue. And then we'll read this. He says, my enemies, America, have done much to hold me up to much public contempt and ridicule. But they believe that the only resort is to stir up national prejudice against me, and that I was not born within the borders of the United States of America. So he's still dealing with that in this chapter. Let me see what else I can find. I mean, this is his speeches, and so he's dealing with a lot here. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go to his first one. But I want us to definitely okay, I'm gonna find something I really want to read because right now I'm just going through. So I'm doing that. Let's talk about some of these new books.
Okay.
Let's get some of these new books. We got some new nonfiction reads that came in.
Okay, the new release of Lorraine Hansberry, The Life Behind a Raisin in the Sun. And yeah, our dear Sidney Poitier, rest his soul. But
yes,
so that is the life and story behind A Raisin in the Sun. Now that would be his sister, right? Was she the sister in the story?
Lorraine Hansberry is the playwright.
Oh, okay.
She wrote The Raisin in the Sun.
I should know that.
And I don't know, did she act in it?
She looks like the sister that played in the movie. I saw the movie. I haven't yet. It's been years since I've seen it.
I can't recall if she actually played in that part. But she is the playwright of The Raisin in the Sun. So
yeah.
Yes. All righty. So she's definitely a shero.
Angela Davis.
Angela Davis got an autobiography out, y'all. Mm-hmm. And so this is definitely a must read to have in your library. You know, she has an awesome story testimony to share.
Yes.
So I look forward to delving into this book. Mm-hmm. I have to read this because she definitely is one of my my sheroes.
Yes.
Oops. Go ahead.
Learn some deeper things about her.
Okay, Letters to Martin, Meditations on Democracy in Black America. Okay, this is a timely read because we got a lot going on with American democracy right now. So this author, Randall Maurice Jelks, is reflecting on what's happening today, and apparently he got some letters that he want to write to Martin to let him know. So this sounds very interesting.
A beautiful meditation on freedom of the self and self-governance. Oh my goodness. As sacred realities. Jelks communes with Martin Luther King Jr., capturing in compelling detail how King's moral and political vision remains still vital as a guide for the transformative work that falls to us to do.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
And this is another nice cover that kind of stuck out at me. Living While Black.
Okay.
Okay,
That caught your attention?
Yeah, it did. Julian Kinuanye? I'm sorry.
Using joy, beauty, and connection to heal racial trauma. So Living While Black.
Yes.
Okay.
And that
I asked Carla to go through the store and just whatever books jump out at her, bring them so we can share on the live.
Yeah.
And God is a Black woman.
Yes.
So now this one is definitely a must read.
I'm
going to read this one to see because
yes, I'm excited.
This is changing paradigms.
Yes,
here.
it is. Yeah.
So excellent. Lolita, do you want to share with us some more from Tabitha? Tabitha, she just uplifts our soul. She's feeding our soul. So do you have anything else you would like to share from Tabitha?
Go through, while you guys are talking, I can look for something else. I didn't find anything else. I mean, I've read the book, but yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to
talking and then I'll see if I can find something else.
And something jumps up at you?
Yes.
Okay. All righty. Well, at 6:00, we're going to have Etan Thomas with us virtually. And he's going to be in conversation with the last poet, Abiodun Oyewole, and his son, Pharaoh Davis. And they're going to be discussing his book, his new release, Police Brutality and White Supremacy, the Fight Against American Traditions. Okay. And so this here, you go to the website, order this book, add this book to your collection, and tune in tonight. It's going to be on on our virtual platforms, but definitely join the conversation. We want you to be a part of this conversation.
Now, who was the last poet? What was his name?
Abiodun Oyewole. He's the last poets. Oh gosh, they're an older group in the 70s and 80s with they call him one of the founders of even rap music, So yeah, so they're a group in New York, and he's actually in the book. So he has a role in the book here, and so it'll be good because Etan did an interview with Abiodun, and so he's going to be in conversation with them. So it should be very interesting tonight.
Absolutely, that's one thing I love about the Doc's Bookshop and how you all keep us educated and enlightened on so much in the community and with Black authors and.
Well, thank you. We,
people of influence.
That's what we seek to do, is to lift voices of just African American literature, authors, because we have so much to share, and sometimes we get lost in the other stores. But I definitely here we try to lift those voices, and so Etan in his book, he's interviewing. He's actually in conversation with Steph Curry. He's in Mark Cuban. He's got different folk that he's having conversations with about this subject of police brutality.
And it's written in a dialogue, so you can see exactly who he's speaking to and their responses to his questions.
And I'm really interested in this conversation because I'm reflecting on the Amir situation in Minnesota, the young boy that was the no knock, whatever that is. His mother actually is a classmate of ours, and so that just messed us up, and so that's police brutality, and just his assassination, his murder. And so I definitely want to hear their commentary on that. So we're gonna just have a very dynamic conversation at 6:00. At 3:00, just to remind everyone, 3:00, if you're in the area, stop by the Doc Bookshop. We have our Black History program that we're going to do. We're just going to show a few videos, and of course, we're going to do our book show and tell. We got to do our book show and tell. Basically, it's going to be all these books that's on this table. We're just going to show them again. And then we have our authors meet and greet. So definitely, if you can, if you're in the area, stop by, check us out. Go online, definitely shop the Doc Bookshop if you're not in the area. We definitely appreciate your support. Lolita, did you come up with anything yet? If not, I'm going to find something on Garvey here.
Yes, I have.
Okay, well, Tabitha, she just feeds our soul. So
yes,
what do you have? What does she say?
So also in the book, as I stated earlier, she has a lot of inspirational quotes by a lot of celebrities. This particular chapter is "It's going to happen." And the quote here is, "There's always something to suggest that you'll never be who you want it to be. Your choice is to take it or keep on moving." And that was to Rashad. So let me just read a little bit from this chapter. It's going to happen. She says, "Honey, here's what I know without a shadow of a doubt. Just because it hasn't happened yet does not mean it's not going to happen. Just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean it isn't coming." "What do you mean, Tab?" "Glad you asked. You're pregnant with something right now. Maybe it's the dream of a family. Maybe you want to start a nonprofit in your community. Maybe you always wanted to sing and make an album. Whatever it is, if you've begun to do your work, then it's in the process. Just like a baby, in ideal circumstances, it takes 9 months of incubation and nurturing to develop strong and healthy. Your dream is going to take some time to develop. And even when the baby is born, say when you finish that first song that they can't thrive on their own, you have to care for them, raise them, teach them how to be in the world. Well, that's also your task for growing your dream. Nurture that dream. For me, that was and is studying my craft of acting. For you, it might be something else. Be brave enough to groom yourself and your dream to be what it needs to be in the world. Don't let your courage just live inside your keyboard. It's easy to post motivational and inspirational quotes. It might even be therapeutic to post all the good, bad, and ugly stuff going on in your life on Facebook. But none of that matters. If you aren't doing something about it, if you do nothing but sit on the couch, eat chips, and look at what everyone's posting, then what was really the point of all that inspiration and motivation? Why did it not inspire and motivate you to get up and get to work on your dream? But even as you nurture your dream and work toward its fulfillment, be patient. It may not look like anything is happening right now, but that doesn't mean the thing you're longing for is not on the way. Don't you dare allow discouragement to settle into your bones. Feel it, because it's definitely real. But then let it go. And as soon as you can, choose to trust that God sees you and is working it out for you. Amen.
Amen. and
let the church say amen.
Yes, ma'am.
And my chips
She's feeding the soul.
My chips are usually with dip. So
yes,
on the couch, I'm gonna
that's it.
Dip and Facebook, but I'm gonna get up and I'm going to do something. I'm going to fulfill the desire of my dreams and to see something come to pass in my life. Thank you, Tabitha.
I know. Yeah. And thank you, Lolita, for reading that. That was profound. And I think so many people needed to hear those.
Yes,
those
ma'am.
words.
Absolutely.
Those words. Yeah, that was good. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we're coming to our close. I think we'll close out with this one here, Garvey and Garveyism. And this one is dealing with the Negro world, his papers. And again, I'm going to hold up the let me hold up the thing, because we are wanting people to, if you can, put your phone on that QR code and go to the website, or you can just go Justice for Garvey website, and it's Justice for the number 4 Garvey, and sign the petition, because we want to exonerate Marcus Garvey, and they want to. Our goal is to clear his name. And some people say, why is that even necessary? It's necessary because it's not true. Number one, we want our history to be correct. And number two, like Dick Gregory says, we need to own our history. And so this is an act that everyone can do. Even children can go and sign. So really, there's no reason why we can't get 100,000 signatures to exonerate one of our great ancestors' name. So we're going to read. I'm going to read this one. This is interesting because it deals with his 8-point platform. All right. Should I keep that there? What you think? Okay, we're going. Okay, yeah. Okay. As the branches multiplied all over the country, we're talking about the UNIA, the Universal Negro Improvement Association. That was his organization. As the branches multiplied all over the country, Garvey saw the necessity for a weekly newspaper to convey his message of uplift and present clean, wholesome news. Early in 1919, he published The Negro World, the official organ of the UNIA. He contributed front page articles, no matter where he was. The paper was destined to play a leading part in the Negro Renaissance. As it developed, Spanish and French sections were added later. Top page slogans were the indispensable weekly, the voice of the awakened Negro, reaching the masses everywhere. After he was forced to leave America to make the Negro world conscious, he really trying to awaken up here. And number 6, to print all the news that would be interesting and instructive to the Negro. And number 7, to instill racial self-help. And number 8, to inspire racial love and self-respect. In order to counteract misleading and vicious lies about intentions and behavior of both leader and followers of the organization, the Negro World published at different times when necessary. Okay. All righty. Well, again, we are. This has been fun for me. I just love books, and so like I said, we started off with children. We went into fiction books, and now we're at nonfiction books, and our time is up. I enjoyed this. We had covered. Let's do a quick rundown of the books we covered. We heard from Tabitha. Oh my goodness, I love her. Tabitha Brown, Feeding the Soul. If you don't have that book, you need to get that book. Okay, that book must be in your library.
Saw you this morning.
And then we read from Defining Moments in Black History, and you cross out the Black, and he explained to you why we crossed out the Black, right? Because he's talking about Black history is history, and we need to own history. And then we what else did we do? We did some speeches from Marcus Garvey.
Hi.
And then
Hi, how you doing?
What other one did we do? Oh yes, this one was very intriguing.
Yes.
God is a Black Woman. That was an intriguing book.
Yes, I'm excited about.
Yeah, just changing paradigms there. All right, and what else did we do? And we didn't read from Angela Davis, but I want to hold this up again. We didn't actually read it, but we want to encourage everyone to add this one to your library. It just came out as a new release. Yeah. All right. Well, it's been exciting. It's been wonderful. We're actually having to go now because we have to get ready for our 3:00 event that's coming up. Again, I invite everyone out to our 3:00 event. It's an in-store and virtual event. And so that's what we're about to get prepared for. So I guess we'll just see you in a few if you're going to join us virtually or in store. Thank you, Lolita. I appreciate you.
Thank you
Lolita
for inviting me.
Too was a part of our nonfiction team, along with Carla Delaney.
Hello, and
author of The Wedding Before the Wedding. She was a part of our nonfiction team. We thank these ladies for taking time out to join me with the African American Readin nonfiction session. We appreciate you. And we'll see you soon, hopefully. If not, enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.